Update 25, Preview 3 is now live on Woodworker, and in this video I'm going to take a closer look at what's likely to be the last beta before the update goes live. The update is currently scheduled to go live on next Tuesday, November 5th, and there are a couple of new things in this build that I'm going to take a closer look at. First thing I'm going to take a look at is the Captain banner that you get from Throne, the gold one. Has now been adjusted. This is what it looks like on live, and for a long time the mastery on this item has been really overpowered, and it's been the go-to banner for a red captain for all that mastery. But right now on beta you can see that the mastery has been nerfed and this item is actually fixed to not be overpowered. There's been more changes to the healing RK, which I'm not gonna take too much of a close look at because I don't really play healing RK, but you can read the changes on the screen here. One thing to note is that Searing Words, which is the proc you can get from using fire skills, now should stack on one target. So if you have multiple RKs on tier 3 Rid of Fire, you're no longer fighting for the Searing proc. You can now proc it individually and have multiple stacks of Searing Words on a target. The biggest change in this update is actually an unexpected but very welcome Warden Buff. Pretty much every tanking buff that the Warden uses have been doubled in duration, which is very nice for Warden. You're able to keep everything up. Most of these are going to be up to a minute in duration. But we also got a buff to Red Warden. The skill damage and damaging effects have been adjusted up. And on the screen right now you can see most of the Warden's damaging skills, the main damaging skills, and how much the increase roughly is. As you can see, most of the skills have been increased by 50 to 250%. And this also applies to the bleed of the skill. And although this is not more dot pulses, which would probably have been a better fix, it's still a step in the right direction for Warden. And the final thing of note in the patch notes, you can now earn up to 94 class trait points after completing the Black Book of Mordor, and up to 94 class trait points can be spent in your class trait trees. This means that the current cap of 92 will increase to 94, level 130, and you're able to get 2 points from completing the Black Book. The map for Morgul Besieged also had an upgrade since Beta 1. It's a lot more polished, a lot more color. Right now I'm at Lan, which is all the way in the west in the Morgul Vale. And this little hub / town actually has all the different kind of guilds with a guild leader, improved recipes, and your legendary recipes. This little hub here has all the guilds exist in the game, and they have all the crafting stations, so it's kind of like a little crafting hub. I also tried doing the guild leader's quest, the one that earns you 50k. So pretty much I pick up the quest. He asked me to craft an item, which is in my metalsmith Minas Ithil. I crafted this chainmail hauberk for 40 ingots. I handed it in, and he rewarded me with this crest worth 50k points. And then he had another quest, which requires me to make the breastplate. So all these purple items that we've seen are parts of the quest, which pretty much means you just craft one of these items and you get 50k XP. So if you didn't stock up on a lot of crafting guild XP, it seems pretty fast to level this up. A quick look at the task items for the new area. Make sure you stock up on these. They are cracked lances, disgusting filth, night touched furs, toughened skins, and tufted ears. But just make sure to save these items once you get them in your bags. I am now in Ekad Uyal, in the middle of the Morgul Vale. And as you can see, this is where we have the barters of the Morgul Vale. And I'm going to take a look at all the items they can offer. You have your standard items gated behind rep. If you get acquaintance standing, you can get the return skill, the hunt report, and the warden muster skill. Ally standing has a bunch of banners, housing items that you can get. If you get to respected standing, you have rune satchels cosmetically, and cloaks. You can look through them quickly. You have a hooded cloak, Morgul Explorer, Morgul's Reclaimer hooded cloak, Cloak of the Rising Moon, Scarf seems to look just the same. The whole Woodland cloak, the hooded version. And as of right now, these foot and hand wraps, they just remove your gloves and your boots. So we'll see what that looks like live. You have one tab that's called Minas Ithil Relics Exchange. This is just here in case you want to change like a teal to 2 purples. You want to change yellows into purple. You have your light armor that you can barter for. At the top, the more DPS tuned armor. At the bottom, the more healing tuned. As of right now, it doesn't tell you what standing you need for these. I can see that my standing is too low. I'm guessing Kindred. And you can see you need these relics to barter for these items. You have your medium armor. At the bottom, the more tanky stuff. At the top, the more DPS stuff. And the same thing for heavy armor. At the bottom, you have the more tanky armor. At the top, you have DPS. You have your light jewelry. These require these purple relics to barter for. You have your medium jewelry. And finally, you have your heavy jewelry. You have Metalsmith Recipes, which includes a full armor set of heavy armor and the 4 different shield types. These require these purple relics to barter for. And I'll take a quick look through them. Obviously they will have multiple output. It's just showing the DPS version right now. You have your tailor recipes, which consists of light armor, medium armor, and the cloaks. I'll take a quick look through all of them. You also have jewelry recipes, but as of right now, it's not finished. It's just showing the heavy under the jewelry, so I assume you'll get all the purple jewelry types in this tab in the future. You have 3 Woodworker Recipes. It's a hammer, a bow, and a club. Nice to see that you can actually make a bow, not just crossbow. And finally you have your weaponsmith recipes. The sword, axe, dagger, and mace. Take a look quickly. In this beta build we also get to have a look at the armor and jewelry that's gonna drop from the 3-mans. You have uncommon and you have rare gear. This is the Will uncommon gear. One thing that's worth noting is that these items disenchant into crafting materials. And my guess is that these items will disenchant into these items, these type of items that you need to craft stuff. You have your rare will gear, which as of right now does not say what they're disenchant into, but I'm assuming they will disenchant into embers. You have your uncommon agility gear. You have your rare agility gear. You have your uncommon heavy gear. And finally you have your rare heavy gear. Some good news, it looks like the pre-imbued legendary item you get with the new Valor will actually be a first stager. As you can see, you get a first stage item. The icon didn't change yet, but compared to the second age, you don't have as much progress, which is fine, I guess, in my opinion. But if they end up making the first stage item in the new Valor, I think that's a good decision. Another thing worth noting is that the Scarhold Ember Barter armor gear is still really strong. It's scaled to 130. It's still gonna be probably very strong in the beginning of update 25. So it's possible that this might be an option for gearing, depending on what the other gear looks like. That's the end of the video. If there's another beta, if the release gets extended even more, I will of course make another report. But if the game goes live on Tuesday, I will see you there with more videos. Also, I'm only 30 subscribers away from 1,000 subs. And as I promised, I will then do a Lotro point giveaway. So stay tuned for that. Maybe you'll get lucky. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe, join my Discord, and I'll see you in the next one.